Alright, we're going to try this one more time, Guardians. So I'm here in Destiny. Just had a really strange experience. First of all, the broadcast died out really quickly, which might be a YouTube thing. Second of all, Destiny was unresponsive, which might be a Bungie thing. YouTube, I like YouTube a lot. You want to know why? Because when the internet shits out and I get an error report, they don't talk about they don't blame my internet. My internet is fantastic. But Destiny, on the other hand, as you can see here, and this is bullshit because I just did a reconnect. I just submitted an error report because the console crashed. I couldn't even run an internet test. My controller was unresponsive. I had to power down, unplug, hold down the power button for like about 15 seconds, which is what they recommend to dump the cache. Then I powered back on, and I was going to go into safe mode, but it didn't go into safe mode. It immediately went to the error screen, so I typed it in. It says your $900 system crashed after I tried to load Destiny 2. Um, I think this is a Destiny thing. I think this is a Bungie thing. I don't think it's a Sony thing because I've been all over the Sony network and it has not given me any problems. It's not a YouTube thing because obviously my YouTube is still running. So I don't know what the hell the issue is here and what's going on, but I can almost guarantee that if I go back off the screen, which of course will stop the broadcast once I do this internet test, and run another speed check on my on the actual settings of the console, it's going to say some ridiculously stupid shit like, I'm probably downing at least 2 or 3 megs at the most and maybe upping about 1. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And this kind of shit happens a lot with Destiny. It's been going on since Destiny 1. You get like stretches of about 4 or 5 months where everything is perfectly smooth, and then they do something in the game to fucking change a meta, or they piss off somebody. I'm going to put a little tinfoil on this right now, and then that group comes back and attacks, and I'm like, do we need that kind of drama? Is it really, seriously? Is it worth trolling people? Because I don't know. I've never been one of those people who gets off on that shit. I mean, if I feel like raging out on an NPC village, I'll rage out on an NPC village. It's for the loot mostly and the experience points. Um, IRL, play and let play. I really don't give a fuck what you want to do in the game because this game, it's a fantasy world. Go ahead and enact all your little fantasies. I'd rather you, wipe out an NPC, wipe out a whole bunch of ads in the game and be all, teabagging nasty and shit there than, kick your cat or whatever or yell at your mom. Um, but then again, I mean, how you behave in a game kind of reflects a lot about how you are as a person in general. Kind of gives me pause because I've not been impressed with the Destiny community, especially since after crossplay became a thing. Because now I'm starting to see why so many people left Xbox and are leaving PC and coming to Sony. It's not because PlayStation gets exclusives anymore because they don't. Everybody gets the same stuff now. It's really more about the fact that my son talks about stories that he had like about 5 pretty close consistent players on his Xbox, and they were doing Destiny and Halo, and then after he came to PlayStation, that group kind of fell apart. There's like 2 or 3 people he's still in contact with on Halo, but they all talk about the same thing. They talk about how the Xbox community is just so pushed, and it's like, do you really want to play in that kind of environment when you're coming to a game just to have fun? I mean, it's not like I'm not making any money on this stuff. There's no one paying me, dropping me PayPal, bills or asking for my Patreon or anything like that. It's just, I mean, I do these video logs. It's kind of like a diary, journaling kind of thing, actually. And, yeah, I got fusion rifle calibrations. Nice. I didn't even know I had that rando. I just grabbed a bunch of random bounties. But that's it. That's what I like about this Lost Sector. I'm going to miss it. It's going to be a sad thing to see it go, but, things change. They have to. We're okay with it. And it's like, I don't know. It's like Bungie's been feeling a lot like, new reduced calories going to cost you $5 extra. You're going to get 20% less product because that counts as reduced calorie because it's reduced product. Get it? You're like, they're taking away shit and charging you more, and you're not getting anything really much back. And it's just, I don't know. It's I'm hoping that the money that Sony will be throwing at them will be enough to like bring them back up to somewhat of a standard that they used to have. But I don't know. I mean, I have my doubts. I'm not buying the Witch Queen, because for the last 4 months, 5 months now, actually going on 5 months now, it's just been one connection issue after another. The community is non-responsive, and I don't really feel the engagement. And you can't say this is strong, good community. You're only playing with like upwards of maybe 10 people at a time. Okay? Those are people who have aggregated to you because of your play style. The activities you do are finding that echo chamber of those 10 people. No shame on this, by the way, because that's the whole point of forming communities, forming groups or cliques, if you will, is that you're looking for like-minded individuals so that you can share your experience on a level playing field on a common ground. That's what message boards used to be about. It wasn't all about just shooting off your ego or anything like that. Although, I mean, I have come across some play groups that I got invited into them mostly in Destiny 1 because I was very social in Destiny 1. I actually I got insinuated into, I will say that's the best way to do it. Um, Started a conversation with a fire team member in an activity, typically Crucible, and and then it's like they're like, hey, you ought to hang out with us. We do these things and stuff, and I think you might be kind of cool. You might like the group, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And so then we start playing, and then it's like almost immediately after the first match, or the first strike, or the first pass on the raid, the guy or gal that invited me in could tell immediately that this was not a group that I wanted to be part of. Um, and it's I mean no harm, no foul. I mean that was the one thing about Destiny 1 being me playing also primarily obviously Sony. Um, the Sony play base is kind of like no harm, no foul. We're cool with that. You do what you do, and you do you, and that's what we want to have. That's what's going to happen. And there was just one guy who was just really, like I said, in this other group that I got introduced into uh, by way of making friends with one of their members who was more chill, the most chill of the boat of the group, um, and and he was just like even and like I said, after about maybe a half a dozen exchanges between myself, my son, and this other individual, the three individuals who were part of our raid team that we all kind of LFG'd to were kind of like, yeah, you know what, he is a little bit too intense. So they all kind of like drifted and parted ways. He went back to playing Rocket League, I guess, at the time, or something like that. Um, and the other three players, two of them lingered for a while, and now we're just playing with the one guy who actually invited me into the raid when I was LFGing for Vault of Glass way back then. But yeah, so it's like, I mean, now it's like crossplay, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person who gets like hella fucking um, xenophobic and shit. But I don't like it. I don't think crossplay is good for Bungie. I don't think it's good for Destiny. Yes, it's a fun thing, and it's a nice little dynamic, and it gets everybody on the same page, and it does great things for your numbers. Like, we've got, X amount of hours clocking on Destiny 2, spread across 4 platforms, because you got to include Stadia. They are there still. I actually saw a Cloud player a couple of, days ago. I was doing some Crucible for the Bright Dust bounties and the 3-day pinnacles. 3-match pinnacles. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, there's still Stadia players playing. Oh my god, where the hell, how come I'm not seeing more of them? Well, reasons, dude. So, I don't know. It's just like I said, it's just one of the many reasons why I'm just not going to be hardcore investing into the Witch Queen, because it's like there's no guarantees in anything. There's always going to be a chance you're going to buy a game that's going to be bugged, it's going to have errors. I can remember once upon a time, pre-internet update bullshit, what do they call it, soft releases and all that stuff, or what is it, play mode, test mode, pre-release mode, or something like that. I can't remember. I remember all before that crap and live updating. You bought your game, you brought it home, you threw it on the console, you started playing, and then 20 hours in, there's this glitch in the game that won't let you progress. You're like, oh fuck! And then like about roughly about that time, about a week or so later, the magazine would come out or the message board would go up, typically on Reddit, and they'd be talking about it, and I'd be like, yeah, the developer has a patch for it, because even on PlayStation 2, you had I think you had USB access on PlayStation 2. But there was ways for you to get mods from the internet, and so yeah, I mean, it was rare for me. There was one time I got a disc that was scratched, and that was just I just took it back to the shop, and they did a replacement for me. There were a couple of bugs in Skyrim, but they were fun. It wasn't like game breaking bugs, but they were weird. Like you'd have your follower buried up to their chin in the floor, or you'd have an NPC attacking you from behind a wall, and you couldn't do anything about it but leave the area and reset the checkpoint. And that was the other thing too that I miss. I miss checkpoints. Well, you have checkpoints in this game too, but they're like in dungeons and shit. I'm talking like full on literal save point. Like if I signed out right here, I could reload right here, and if there's an ad right there, it could kill me. So you're careful about where you signed out. Or like playing Minecraft, not on Realms, obviously. I think even on Realms you can do it. Wherever you sign out, that's where you're going to spawn in. Elder Scrolls Online game. I don't load into fucking orbit or some waiting room or some bullshit like that. I load into the last spot I was on the map. And yeah, I have at times had to log out immediately during right after a boss fight and go do stuff, and then come back, and like my character is like dead, and I have the option to reload at the way shrine. Can attend the game saying maybe you shouldn't like log out right now in the middle of a boss spawn. That might not be a good idea, but I got credit for it. Believe it or not, my follower was actually there, loaded up before me, and she was able to do stuff on my behalf, and so I did get some credit for it. I didn't get a lot of good loot because I didn't put in a lot of damage, but yeah, so I don't know. Destiny loading you into a lobby. It's just everything about Destiny feels like an app game. Everything about Destiny feels like it's a battle royale fighter. A mobile app fighter than it is an actual shared world shooter looter. I mean, technically, right now in Raid Shadow Legends, which I'm playing, concurrently with this game. Even right now in Raid Shadow Legends, I'm technically playing against other players, and technically it is a multiplayer online experience. Um, and I don't have any fucking problems with this shit. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I got a little bit sucked into the hype a couple of days ago when the TWAB came out. About the weapon forging, I was like, I really like that. I like customizing my weapons. I miss being able to call the shots on the perks on my guns. Um, and I know we've had something similar with the gunsmith back in Destiny 1, and I loved that activity. Oh my lord. Every time that a new prototype came up, I took that shit every fucking where. No, I didn't enjoy taking it into Crucible because it was always a pain in the ass. But that was just like, there were good times on that, and I really do miss. I miss that, just like I miss President of Elders, but now I do, you know, other things. Let's check out the quest here, see what we got left. Okay, we're doing bows, auto rifles, and rocket launchers. All right, that's cool. So a bow and an auto rifle. Oh no, let's do gnawing hunger. I want to get some more practice on gnawing hunger. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy, 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 howdy. Oh, I should do the Tiku's definition instead of the... Yeah, let's do that instead. Let me get my app. I wonder if it has something to do with the Destiny Companion. Because I was using the Destiny Companion too when I was loading this game. It might have been too much. I don't know. It's kind of sad that it would be too much, right? You'd think that, $900 fucking system, $500 fucking phone, I'm not going to divulge how much I pay for my internet because I'm embarrassed by that. But I do use it a lot, and my line of work and the fact that I do work from home, I'm not cheaping out, on this system because this is, it's a livelihood, it's a resource. I have Tikus, but I had it in the. Okay, so let's do this then. Do that. I haven't done that in a long time. Tiku's Divination is going to be good. We're going to finish up the Rocket one. But yeah, it's the gunsmith stuff. You don't get bright dust for it, but you do get XP, and that's kind of fun. I know I mentioned bright dust earlier, but we're going to go ahead and do. And there we go. Seraph weapons are the fucking badass, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. I will tell you right now. This archetype rifle with a Seraph carbine is yeah. This is the footprint right here. This is what you want. What a chicken shit. I see a lot of the Destiny community as the Scorned. I don't know. It just feels like it. You know? Oh, they're gonna eat me. How does that make you feel? I think that's everybody, isn't it? Oh, there's a couple of jokers over there. Not anymore. Alrighty. Anyway, I'm out of here. Let me know what your internet experience has been with Bungie. Like I said, I've not had a good history with them.